They were once everywhere, on movie screens, magazine covers, red carpets, loved by millions and recognized across the world. But today, many of their names are rarely spoken. Their faces are almost forgotten. What really happened to the biggest Hollywood stars of the 70s, 80s, and 90s? Did they retire in peace? Did fame destroy them? Or did Hollywood simply move on without them? In this video, we explore the stories of 60 Hollywood stars who once ruled the industry and where they are now. The 70s, 80s, and 90s were a golden era of cinema. It was a time when actors didn't just perform, they became legends. Their movies defined generations, and their presence could fill cinemas around the world. But fame in Hollywood is never permanent. Some stars chose to walk away at the peak of their careers. They stepped out of the spotlight willingly, choosing family life, privacy, or completely different paths away from cameras. Others didn't get that choice. As new generations of actors entered Hollywood, the industry shifted. Styles changed, audiences changed, and slowly, some familiar faces started disappearing from major roles. And then there are those whose stories are more complicated. Some face personal struggles, health issues, or financial challenges that pulled them away from the industry they once ruled. Hollywood, as glamorous as it looks, is also one of the most competitive industries in the world. If you're not constantly visible, you can quickly be forgotten. But not every story ends in silence. A few of these stars manage to return later in life. Not always as leading heroes, but in small roles, interviews, or special appearances that reminded fans of their golden days. And when they appeared again, even briefly, it brought back a wave of nostalgia. People remember the time when these actors were at the top of the world, shaping the movies we still watch today. Even those who never returned to the screen still left something behind. Their performances, their characters, and their impact remain alive in classic films that continue to be watched by new generations. So when we look back at these 60 Hollywood stars, it's not just about where they went, it's about what they gave to cinema. Because fame may fade, careers may slow down, but true legends never completely disappear. Their stories are still there, in old films, in memories, and in the history of Hollywood itself. If you remember any of these stars, or if you grew up watching them, take a moment and think about how much cinema has changed. And maybe ask yourself, how many of today's stars will still be remembered 30 or 40 years from now? Some of these names still bring instant nostalgia the moment you hear them. You don't even need to see a full film clip. Just a single scene, a voice, or a smile is enough to take you back in time. There were actors who defined romance on screen, others who ruled action movies, and some who became unforgettable through comedy and drama. They were not just performers. They were part of people's everyday lives through television and cinema. But as the years passed, many of them quietly stepped away. Some chose to live far from public attention, avoiding interviews and red carpets completely. They wanted peace after years of fame, pressure, and constant attention. Others kept working behind the scenes, contributing to the industry in different ways, writing, producing, or mentoring new talent. Even though they weren't always visible on screen, they were still shaping Hollywood in their own way. And then there are those who simply faded from the spotlight without any big announcement. No headlines, no farewell tour, just a slow disappearing from the screens that once made them famous. For fans, it often feels strange. One day, a star is everywhere, and the next, they feel like a memory from another time. But that is the reality of Hollywood. It never stands still. It keeps moving forward, constantly creating new stars while the old ones become part of its history. Still, true talent doesn't disappear. Even if years pass, their work remains. Movies don't age the same way people do. A performance from 40 years ago can still feel fresh, emotional, and powerful today. That is why these 60 stars still matter. Not because they are always in the spotlight, but because they help build the foundation of modern cinema. Every generation has its icons, but only a few become timeless. And many of the actors you will see in this journey are exactly that, timeless. As we go through this list, you might recognize some faces instantly, and others you may have completely forgotten. But each one has a story worth remembering. Some of them may never return to Hollywood again, but their legacy continues every time someone presses play on their movies. And maybe that is the real definition of fame. Not how long you stay in the spotlight, but how long people remember you after you're gone from it. So let's continue this journey through time, and rediscover the faces that once ruled Hollywood and see where life has taken them today. And as we continue, it becomes even more surprising when you realize how different life can become after fame. Some of these actors are now living completely normal lives. No red carpets, no flashing cameras, no interviews. Just ordinary routines that feel far away from the world they once knew. A few have moved into quiet towns, far from Hollywood entirely. They spend their days focusing on family, hobbies, and personal peace rather than public attention. Others have shifted into completely different professions. You will be shocked to know that some former stars now work in small businesses, real estate, teaching, or even completely unrelated fields where nobody recognizes them. But what's even more interesting is how many of them are actually happy with this change. For some, leaving Hollywood wasn't a loss, it was freedom. Freedom from pressure, expectations, and the constant demand to stay relevant. Still, there are moments when their past catches up with them. Old movies get rediscovered online. Fans post clips. New generations find their work on streaming platforms and ask the same question again. Where did this actor go? And that's a powerful part of this story. Fame may disappear, but impact never really does. Even actors who haven't appeared in decades still receive love messages from fans around the world. Their performances continue to live on, sometimes even becoming more popular years after they stopped acting. Hollywood has always been like a fast-moving river. New faces keep coming in, new stories keep being told, but the footprints of past stars are never completely washed away. Some of these 60 stars you're about to see had massive careers, blockbuster films, award-winning performances, and unforgettable moments that shaped cinema history. And now, they are part of a different kind of story, the story of time, change, and legacy. As we move forward in this list, try to remember this: every face you see once stood at the center of the world's attention. Every name was once trending. Every actor once had their moment of global fame. And maybe that's what makes this journey so emotional, because it reminds us that nothing in fame is permanent. So let's continue exploring the forgotten legends and uncover what life looks like for them today, after Hollywood.